All right, so example 2, another polynomial function, and we'll work through this in exactly the same fashion, maybe with a little bit less exposition, but this is the procedure. Use the second derivative test to categorize, find and categorize the relative extrema. All right, so we have the second, assume you have the derivative, 12x to the third minus 12x to the second minus 72x. We're going to set that to 0. Type 1 critical values, that's where the derivative is equal to 0. That is set that to 0. What we're going to do, factor out 12x, does that look right? Leaving behind x to the second minus x to the first minus 6. And so our critical values are x equals 0, x equals 3, and x equals negative 2. All right, so if we're going to do the second derivative test, I'll go ahead and save a little space. I'm going to compute the second derivative here. What do we have here? 36 x to the second minus 24x minus 72. We need to evaluate the second derivative at 0, at 3, and at negative 2 in no particular order. So let's see what we have here. We need the second derivative evaluated at, what's the first? Well, let's evaluate it at 0. That should be pretty straightforward. 36 times 0 squared minus 24 times 0 minus 72. Negative 72 is clearly less than 0, so there's a relative maximum at 0. Again, in no particular order, I'll just go with them as I have them here. F double prime at 3. The numbers get a little big, but we're going to use I'll use a machine if I need it. So 36 times 3 to the second minus 24 times 3 minus 72. And I think I have those worked out here somewhere. F double prime at 3, I believe, works out to be 180, which is greater than 0. And greater than 0 means it's a relative minimum. And then we need the second derivative evaluated at the last choice is negative 2. Again, the sequence is irrelevant. You just need to do all 3 of them. And I actually have this worked out here somewhere. I believe that works out to be 120. So this is 36 times negative 2 squared. Remember, this is negative 2 quantity squared minus 24 times the quantity, negative 2 minus 72. Be careful with the negative signs. That works out to be 120, which is greater than 0. And so that means we have a relative minimum also. So let's summarize our result. We have a relative max at x equals 0. We have a relative minimum. Actually, there are 2 of these, right? 2 relative minima. There's one at x equals 3 and at x equals negative 2. So remember to express your result using the x values, not this 120, not this 180. If you needed to have the y coordinates, you would go back to the original function to compute them, not the first or the second derivative.